Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it's time for another Sudsy recap. Today we're going to be talking about Days of Our Lives. But before we do that, let's talk about the saga of the pimple that has now been popped and it's now scabbing over. So that's good. It's right there. And I don't really even need to point it out anymore. Y'all can see the pimple. It's pretty fucking big. But what I find really interesting is that when I'm at work, I have my glasses on. So it looks like this. So it really just looks like a shadow. Actually, it's more like that. So a lot of people couldn't even really tell that I even had a pimple at all because of the way that I wear my glasses. But I don't wear my glasses on my YouTube show, so y'all can see real quick. But it's going away, so I'm not worried about it. I'm actually glad that it looks this bad, but that's just because it's scabbing over and it will heal before you know it. So that's all good. Okay, so let's talk about well. Okay, let me say this. Whenever I talk about Days of Our Lives, I'm always ranting about Days of Our Lives, and I'm gonna rant again. But actually, this time it has nothing to do with the actual show. It has to do with the goddamn president. Okay, and honestly, it doesn't matter who's in office. They just always have those fucking press conferences in the middle of my stories. It's annoying as hell. It really is. I'm so pissed, right? Just fuck, annoying. So what happened was this time I actually have the NBC app on my phone, and I watched the entire episode of today's episode of Days of Our Lives completely on my phone. Because apparently there was some press conference, and Paul Ryan was talking about how the healthcare bill got shut down and they didn't vote on it, or I don't know what the fuck. I don't care, because it had nothing to do with my soaps. I was pissed, right? So, listen, I'm all for staying up on the news. Trust me, I am. But during the news, is that really a reason to break into my soap operas? I don't think so. Or if you're gonna have to do that, can't you do that in the morning? Notice they never break into the morning shows for fucking anything. Why is that? That's annoying. I'd rather they break into, the Today Show or Live with Regis and Kelly or The View. I'm sure lots of people would probably rather they broke into The View. But it's just annoying. I really, 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 it irritates the shit out of me. It really pisses me off. Because it interrupted two of my soaps. It didn't just interrupt Days of Our Lives. It also interrupted General Hospital. And it also interrupted Bold and Beautiful as well. Now, luckily, Bold and Beautiful, they replay on Pop. So I actually was able to tape Bold and Beautiful on Pop. So that was fine. And then I have the ABC and the NBC apps on my phone. So I have both General Hospital and Days of Our Lives on my phone. So I was able to watch it. Okay. So, anyways, I just had to get that off my chest because that really irritates the shit out of me when that happens. Really, they've always got to be at like fucking 4 p.m. every single day. Stupid. Why can't they have one at night? Why can't they have one at like 6 o'clock at night? Right? It's just fucking annoying. I hate it. Ugh. Anyways, okay, sorry. Had to get that off my chest. Okay, so let's talk Days of Our Lives. In today's episode, actually, Adrian had beautiful scenes in the hospital. She had amazing scenes with Kate where she broke down and was scared of losing her breasts, and she was disgusted by how she was going to look after the reconstruction. She's not a fake titty kind of girl. I mean, it was really, really touching. She's like, she just wants to be her, but with no cancer. I mean, I didn't cry, but I did get a little choked up because it was really sweet. It really was. I really enjoyed that. That is really what Days of Our Lives is about. That's why that show is one of my favorites, because it's really, when it's good, it's really good. Now let's talk about the not good, okay? This fucking bullshit between Deimos and Chad and the Hernandez family. First of all, I mean, I get that the Hernandez family has not even been on the show that long. The Kiriakis and the Damaras, they've been on the show for at least 30 years, right? So they've been on for a long time. And I get that they have a long-standing feud. That makes sense. I understand that. That's great. But now the Hernandezes are all involved too. And, they have not been on the show that long. Like what? 17 years at the most? That's half the time. Whatever. And even then, it was just Rafe. And then it was Rafe and Ariana who ended up getting killed. And then Rafe and Ariana and Gabby. And then Rafe and Ariana and Gabby and Dario. And then Adriana. And then Eduardo. But, it's just annoying because you've got your core families, like your Bradys, like your Hortons, right? But instead they chose the Hernandezes to go against, the Kiriakis and the Damaras. I don't know. That just seems kind of silly to me. And Eduardo, what's going on with Eduardo? I mean, really, he was a super spy one minute, and a deadbeat dad the next, and now he's Dario's best friend, and now he's helping Chloe out. I don't know what they're doing with Eduardo. I don't get it. A. Martinez is way too talented for them to be wasting his talent like this. This is a little crazy. It's a little crazy. Chloe's a bitch. Just thought I'd say that. She's a total bitch. I mean, whatever. Chloe's a bitch. She's a bitch. Chloe is a bitch for going. First of all, and I don't mean the actress that plays Chloe, because I've taken cardio bar with Nadia Burlin, and she was fierce actually at cardio bar. But she's a dancer, so you would really expect that. But she's sweet. But her character, Chloe, is a bitch. And the reason why Chloe's a bitch is because she's trying to keep Nicole's own daughter away from her. Speaking of Nicole, so Nicole has decided to move to Canada, which she got there fine despite, a lot of heavy hand-wringing and a lot of nerves. But she got to Hawaii, to Canada. She probably should have gone to Hawaii. Actually, now that I think about that, that's probably exactly where she should have gone. She should have gone to a nice island like Hawaii or Tahiti or Mystique or someplace, in the Caribbean or the South Pacific, and just stayed there in the island and no one, or even one of the Japanese islands. How about that? Except the difference though is that in Japan you would totally stick out like a sore thumb if you're a white person. But on the same token, if you were a white person living in Japan, no one would really bother you and no one would be looking out for you. She's concerned that this chick that lives next door to her, who is a cop on a leave of absence, a Canadian cop, has seen the Amber Alert. Well, you wouldn't really care about that in Japan, would you? No, not that much. I mean, it just seems like someone with all of the resources that Titan has and that Brady has, that they can't, even if they didn't use the Titan airplane, if they just rented a plane or something, or used, it just seems like that's a little, or they could have used a Demera airplane or whatever. It just seems like it's a little, that was reaching a little bit. Anyways, so the chick that lives next door, I don't know if anyone recognizes her or not, but she was the last girl to play Heather on Young and the Restless. Doug Davidson, Paul Williams' daughter, who ran off with Daniel, Phyllis's son, to Atlanta with Daniel's daughter, Daisy. No, Daisy was the mom. Lucy, his daughter, Lucy. Crazy Daisy. Oh, God, I miss Crazy Daisy. I want them to bring Crazy Daisy back. That's it. Okay, that's tomorrow. That's the other Restless. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Anyways, so she is, and she also was on, I think it was As the World Turns, or it might have been Guiding Light, but she was on one of those two, and she's now on Days of Our Lives playing this cop. And we haven't really decided if she's a good cop or a bad cop. And the thing about this storyline is, it's not a wonderful storyline like Adrian's. I mean, that really got me. But it wasn't a stupid storyline like this whole Demira, Kiriakis, Hernandez feud, right? So it's kind of in the middle. And the fact that one of the things that I have an issue with in terms of the soap press, when they, at least just when they cover Days of Our Lives, is that we don't know if they're reporting stuff as it happens, or are they reporting stuff as it happens on screen. And that's one of the other disadvantages of taping 6 months in advance. 6 months, that is a long time. Now they got renewed for another year, so kudos to you, Days. I'm thank God. Hopefully things get a lot better. And with Ron Carlivati, he brought him and Frank Valentini brought General Hospital back. So, you know, and everyone actually at General Hospital is actually very happy for Ron. So that's kind of good. But anyway, and my friend Ryan is still working there. He's just not a head writer anymore, and that's fine. Um, anyways, that's neither here nor there. Anyways, sorry. Okay, so that's just Days of Our Lives. So I can't. I'm still gonna be watching every single day. So I do want to say thank you so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Do I look like my eyes look bloodshot, like I'm like stoned or something? I'm totally not stoned at all. Okay, whatever. Anyways, thank you so much for logging on. I do appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can also hashtag days to talk Days of Our Lives, or you can hashtag YR to talk Young and the Restless. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night. Wubba, wubba, wubba.